How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the B Team. The B Team is presented by Mesa Modern Mexican. It is Valentine's Day, ladies and gentlemen. Mainly, this is for the gentlemen. Get over to Mesa. Make sure you have a reservation over there. They have a great menu lined up for Valentine's Day. Am I right, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. We're booked up for Friday, so you better start calling.
Yeah, look for Saturday, Sunday, Thursday. I got mine done last week. You know, I hit up Mesa after we had a nice dinner. I got a second entree. Very nice. Didn't use the code out of respect. You know, I don't want to boost our numbers on my own. But listen, the people are going there. Tell them you got sent by the B Team and you will receive 10% off. We have a bunch of people already that have gone over there. They said the food is fantastic. They said the food is great. They said the service is fantastic. The bartender's hot as hell. And, yeah.
For the people that did show up and use a discount, we appreciate the hell out of you. There are a couple out there. I know who you are. Thank you guys. We appreciate y'all. Yeah, come on over to Mesa. Come see me. Valentine's Day coming up. Just go get the entrees, man. They're good. I'm telling you. And the Valentine's Day menu is looking superb.
Absolutely.
Come on over.
So, all right, Mesa, Modern Mexican, 10% off when you mention the B Team.
All right, Mike. Let's get into the Super Bowl here. 2024-25 NFL season is complete.
We're here.
The Eagles are champions. The Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Congratulations to Eagles fans. You did it. You got over the hump with Jalen Hurts. You did it. You did it. You did it. Super Bowl champions. Second time in 7 years. You know, you gotta tip your hat to the fan base. You know, this is their glory years. This is their time to be fans. It's their time to be champions. You know, the city is on fire, literally and figuratively, sports and in the streets of tearing down signs. Morons. But the Phillies are great. The Flyers have one player that is great. The Sixers have a little bit of a future ahead of them in Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain. And the Eagles are out here winning Super Bowls, looking like the best team in the near future that could be a dynasty, Mike. Could be a dynasty.
How do they get worse?
We'll see. I don't see how they get worse. I don't see how they get worse. But I just have to say this quick. If you are a Philly sports fan, enjoy this. Because this does not happen. This whole success realm that you're living in with the Phillies going to World Series and going to the playoffs and the Sixers going to playoffs and making you believe and the Flyers, I mean, never mind. But the Eagles going to the playoffs every year and winning Super Bowls and competing for the division, that doesn't happen. That's not a thing. The Patriots aren't a thing. The Chiefs aren't a thing. The Yankees aren't a thing. The Dodgers aren't a thing. I mean, sucks, but the Celtics, hopefully, they're not a thing. They won 2 in a row, 3 in a row. It's kind of a tough one there. But this isn't a thing that happens. And if you are able to create this into a dynasty, I mean, you better freaking enjoy it. Talk your shit. Say whatever you want to me. Say whatever you want to Mike. This is your time. This is your time. This is your time. This is the best time to be a Philly sports fan.
Yeah, and you know what? You just enjoy it. Just live in the moment and enjoy it because not a lot of people have enjoyed championships like your Eagles and the Phillies and, well, obviously the Sixers haven't, but you're at least having one of your teams that you love and you're a fan of win something. And the Eagles, out of all those other Philly sports teams, are looking like the team that can do it not on a consistent basis, but can show up pretty much almost every year like the Chiefs. I really think so. Like, you look at this roster from top to bottom, and it is just loaded on all ends, on offense, on defense. There's just so many good players that they have. The system that they have, the culture that they have, just the staff. Howie might be one of the best GMs in the league. Like, he might. And Jeff Stoutland, Staten Island native, best O-line coach in the league, will be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Shout out to him. But they're so good. They're so good from top to bottom. Yes, again, we talked about this. They have some aging guys, but they're still playing at a high level. You bring in Saquon, you bring in Mekhi Becton, Nolan Smith, obviously he's coming around. Nakobe Dean, when healthy, is nice. Zach Bond, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. Howie Roseman snapped on free agency, on the draft. He did, of course he had a couple misses. Everybody does. Yeah. But his hits have paid off. Mm-hmm. And now you just build upon this. We've said this before. How do they get worse from here? How do they get worse? Obviously, injuries are going to happen. We know that. But if they have this same team and they get better. They get a guy like, I don't know, an O lineman or something, or a tight end. They like, what do they need? Maybe a safety. I don't know, a cornerback to replace Slay when he's gone. Like, it's really just coming to, let's get a young guy in there for our aging guys. Like Lane Johnson, how much longer does he have? Jordan Mailata, like, again, I don't know how old they are on the top of their head. Lane's old. He's vet.
Yeah.
You can get guys to learn behind them. You have one of the best O-line coaches in the league. Defense, you might need some defensive line guys too because of expiring contracts or whatnot. Maybe a linebacker. Like, they don't have holes. And we saw that at the back end of this year, going into the playoffs and, of course, beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So they got to, listen, enjoy this, Eagles fans. Enjoy this because your team is winning, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. You want the city. You want that. You want to feel a win in the city, and of course they did after celebrating the Super Bowl. But yeah, they might be the Super Bowl favorites next year. I mean, we saw when we posted the odds.
They are.
I wouldn't be shocked if they did it again.
And it's gonna come down to Howie's ability to manage the salary cap, how he's able to work the money around. Because this team, they're gonna get older. The players want a Super Bowl. There's gonna be a few that as they get older, you can't stay on that rookie contract forever. Like,
they're gonna want their money.
Guys are gonna have to get paid, and when you have a lot of really, really, really good Super Bowl winning players, eventually you're gonna have to pay some of them. I mean, look at some of these teams that have to pay these really good players that have never won a Super Bowl, maybe never will get to a Super Bowl, and they're contemplating, should we pay them? Should we not? I mean, Howie's going to run into some of those situations, and you know what? They got a Super Bowl label on them. Cooper DeJean's got a pick 6 on him.
Isn't it wild that Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell have been in the league for 1 year, and they have more rings than legends that have played this game? Dan Marino, Adrian Peterson. How lucky you got to be. I mean, granted, listen, they put in the work, and they deserve it, but to win a ring at, 22 years old. Fresh off 22 years old. So
I was thinking about this when we were watching the game, actually. They were going off. They're like, oh, man, how lucky are Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell? They got a ring. 1 year, they got a ring. And in my head, I'm like, all right, we're hyping up this whole, they're rookies and they won a ring.
That's so sick.
But, like, there's rookies on every single team that get a ring every single year.
True.
So in my head, I'm like, yeah, that is really cool. Like, I don't want to diminish it. That's incredible for them. But, like,
to be playing too.
For everyone to be sitting there, like, hyping this up to the maximum, being like, this is the greatest thing of all time. These two rookies are getting rings. Like, every single year there's rookies that get rings. This isn't like it's the first time they're getting 100%. Rings. It was making me laugh as I was watching and listening to Brady talk about this. I'm like, what the fuck's this guy talking about?
I just think those rookies were so much more abundant in, like, their role on the teams.
Yeah.
Like, that the fact that they got, like, Cooper DeJean had a pick 6 on Mahomes, and he gets a ring, dude. Like, bro, people were even Eagles fans were like, don't draft the white guy out of Iowa. Don't draft the white guy out of Iowa. And here he is, and now he's a beloved fan. Probably will be for the rest of his career in Philly.
Yes.
Just amazing to think because, again, you have so many greats out there that have never won a Super Bowl ring. And these guys who, they might not have the biggest role, but at least played a role in the Super Bowl, got the ring, man, it's amazing. I'm happy for the Valley Boys.
Absolutely.
Saquon, I mean both of them. And it's so this team, and it's I can't believe I'm saying this about the Eagles because we all know the Eagles and their fans. Again, good for them. But there's a little bit more of, like, love, and there's a story behind this team.
Dude, it sucks because it's hard to hate this team. It's hard to hate this team, and I just kind of spit all my for wellness on the table.
That's
okay.
fine. But you have Saquon went to Whitehall, went to Penn State, went to the Giants. Career was injuries.
Penn State posted such a cool post yesterday. Did you
Jahan,
see it?
yes, I know. Yeah. Jahan Dotson, the same thing. Like, first round pick did okay in Washington, was trending towards, I believe it or not, being a bust. Comes to Philly, back with Philly and Saquon. Happy Valley, Lehigh Valley, back in Philly, and then win a ring. Mekhi Becton, another great story. Almost a tutty. Mekhi Becton, dude, people writing him off as a bust. He couldn't stay on the field for the Jets. Comes back, first year, wins a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Something about the way that Howie brought in these guys, and they all had that common goal in mind, and they finally got it. That's why we love sports. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you see stories like that just you can't, like, the Chiefs don't have that shit.
No.
maybe Karlaftis because he's Greek and everything and his family. But Mahomes, no one gives a shit about. Kelsey, nobody gives a shit about. Like, something felt different about, especially us not even being fans, but being from the Lehigh Valley.
Yeah.
Seeing two of those guys that we've played against and went to school. Like, I played Jahan in ball. I played against Saquon in ball. Like, seeing them together on the same team winning a championship just means more.
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
I was making fun of Saquon a little bit. I will put my hand up. But I have totally spoken Saquon into legendary status.
One of the best running backs.
But, like, one of the best running backs
seasons
of all time. One of the best running back seasons of all time. You can currently get him to break the single season rushing record on FanDuel at like plus 350. Crazy that's only plus 350.
Yeah.
I believe. I could be very wrong. Great seasons from them.
Mm-hmm.
Jahan Dotson, he was everyone that said, Jahan ain't doing shit. He's running cardio out there. I mean, what did you want him to do next to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown? You got two of the premier wide receivers in the league. Like, the fact that you are getting
Devontae
throws,
Smith too.
That's what I said.
The storyline.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's another one.
This team was so hard to hate, dude. It was so hard to hate. And, like, I tried to hate them so much. Was I cheering for the Chiefs? Yes. I'm a Cowboys fan. That would be stupid. The Cowboys fans out there that were cheering for the Eagles, I mean, just hand in your get rid of your jerseys. I'll take them all if you want. Go cheer for the Eagles. You're done. You're dead to me.
It's just Saquon and Jahan exist around our area.
Yeah.
Like, if they were not on the team, 99% of Eagles, Giants, Commanders fans, Cowboys fans, or not Eagles, obviously, Giants, Commanders, Cowboys would be rooting for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But it means different. There's something more to it.
Let's move on from this topic. Before we move on, though, I have a fun Super Bowl fact that we have to get out there.
Jake Elliott snapped.
So, yes, he did. That mortal lock cashed.
Fuck.
So easy. The Eagles finally get on the board with the rest of the NFC East and win their second Super Bowl. Congratulations, you finally caught up. And by caught up, I still mean you're behind everybody. So with winning your second Super Bowl, you are now 3 back of the Cowboys. You are 2 back of the Giants and 1 back of the Washington Commanders. So congratulations, we're almost there. Welcome to the club of multi-Super Bowl winners.
Y'all got to expect this from him nowadays.
But the biggest thing was we can all thank the Eagles. All 3 of our fan bases can thank the Eagles for making us the greatest division in NFL history because we are the most competitive and we are the most winning. We have the only division in the entire league, in the entire world of NFL, that has multiple Super Bowls in all 4 arenas.
That's great.
All 4 stadiums. So, congratulations to us, the NFC Beast. Let's give it up. Give it up. That was good. That felt really good. And the Giants Giants could be decent next year if they get a quarterback that is competent. They're not going to be good, but they could be. I'm saying decent in comparison to what we've seen.
6 wins max.
Dude, Giants fans would probably die with 6. They would love that.
They'll win like 3 at the end of the year, ruin the draft pick.
Right? I'm going to do this right now.
Future.
I'm going to do this right now. Cowboys are going to end with 12 wins. Eagles are going to end with 11 wins. Giants will have 6, and Washington will have 8. Book it.
I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to let you guys comment, and you just
all right.
Think about what Mahler just said there. I'll let you guys handle that.
What do you mean? I gave the Eagles 1 less than us. I think that's fair.
You gave the Cowboys 12 wins.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll let the Eagles fans debate that.
You got to believe.
They're going to shred you.
You got to believe.
They're going to shred you.
Shoddy season.
Washington at 8, dude.
I do.
Please quit this. We have to.
I do think Washington's going to take a step back, though.
That's
look
fair.
at C.J. Stroud this year.
That's fair.
The teams figure out what his weaknesses are, and all of a sudden, there's no game film on Jaden Daniels in the NFL until this year. And look at the back half of the season; they were able to kind of contain him a bit. He had a great run in the playoffs, but they were able to start containing him. Next year, they're not just going to. The Cowboys aren't going to be decimated on defense. The Eagles aren't going to lose to Washington. This isn't happening.
If B-Rob is the running back, I'll see 8 wins.
Dude, if Eckler or B-Rob are the running back, they're both aging. Eckler has a family member in a cult.
B-Rob's not even aging, but he stinks.
Don't know if you saw that. He married into a family with a cult.
Oh, ouch.
No, it's not his fault. It's on TikTok, 7M Dancers. Crazy.
TikTok's always finding the answers.
All right, let's move on here. So, big thing coming out of the Super Bowl now is,
We're not even getting into the game,
now,
correct?
No, fuck the game. 40.
Okay. Everyone knows
domination.
D line snapped.
We're gonna touch on everything that's important.
That's fine.
So what category are we putting Jalen Hurts in? I'm gonna be the first one to stand up here on this show and say, the man who wears this helmet. No, I'm taking a step back. Can't say anything. I can't say anything. Jalen Hurts is officially the better quarterback in the division until further notice because he has the Super Bowl. He has the Super Bowl MVP. There's nothing I can say to go against that. I can't even combat that. He has done what I wanted Dak to do, and he did it faster. He made it look easier, and now that's not completely on Dak because Dak hasn't had the options of having multiple wide receivers at his disposal, hasn't had a consistent running back, the O-line. Jalen Hurts has been blessed with that, and kudos to them. That comes down to having a competent GM and owner and an organization that wants to win, whereas the Cowboys do not. But until further notice, Jalen Hurts is, no matter where you put Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts has to be above it. So if you put Dak at the best next year, Jalen Hurts is still better. He has to be put there.
I think before we make this mistake again, and this is nothing on Jalen Hurts, I want to put that out right now. We said this about Brock Purdy, remember, when they lost to the Chiefs, and we put him in top 5 because Gassy was sucking the schmeat off of him. We're not doing that again right now.
But I'm not saying who's better. I'm saying categories in terms of what categories are you putting these players in? Because Jalen Hurts, unlike some of these other guys, has been able to get over the hurdle of beating Mahomes and winning in that Super Bowl, playing better than Mahomes in 2 Super Bowls now. 2, not just this one. He played better than him in the last one as well, but didn't come out with the win.
This is my thing here, all right? And I don't want Eagles fans to go crazy, but at the end of the day, does it really fucking matter where Jalen Hurts is placed?
Mike,
does it matter?
Hear me out.
Should it matter?
Can I paint
Go ahead.
a picture for you?
Get in.
All right, so let's say next year, or let's say even before Rodgers came, let's say you had gotten Lamar Jackson. Okay, so the Jets have Lamar Jackson.
Okay, listen.
All right. And your Jets go ahead and do, what Josh Allen did this year.
Okay.
Right? So Lamar wins MVP with the Jets.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But you don't make it to the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes gets there.
Sure.
And then the Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl. How are you going to feel about Lamar Jackson?
I mean, I'd still think he's great. I mean, the Eagles are just a well-oiled machine. Am I calling him a system quarterback? No, he's not a system quarterback. But did he do everything in his power to get them to where they wanted to go? Yes and no.
But I think you got to respect the way he played in that Super Bowl.
Sensational. He played sensational.
Because for the first time, a team was able to stop Saquon Barkley. That hadn't happened. That hadn't happened since the Cowboys did it because they got him to be benched in that game because they were getting blown out so badly. The Cowboys were.
Sensational.
But Jalen Hurts, when he had to play well,
he did.
He played fantastic. He has, ever since Alabama, he's been the epitome of a team player. Mm-hmm. He will do whatever the team needs to win the game. And he wasn't the one that had to play well until that Super Bowl. And what did he do? He put up, 225 yards. He had a couple touchdowns. Maybe? Yeah. And he ran for a boatload. He might not be the fastest player, but man, does he run with power.
He played out of his mind that game. He played out of his mind. Now, if I had to place him, top 5, top 10. And I don't think that's a bad thing. People are going to fight
but
it,
I'm
though.
saying category of quarterback because right now you got the top tier.
A winner.
The top tier quarterback who is, I think you can only put one quarterback in the top tier. And I know people are going to hate this, Eagles fans especially, but Mahomes has to be the number one still. That was the worst game of his career.
He does.
Worst game of his career.
I'm not writing him off. The people who are writing him off are just fucking casuals, dude. Now, they were going for a three-peat. Let's remember that.
Yes. No, I understand that. I'm still putting him at the top. I get all that. Worst game of his career.
I think Allen.
All that being said, while we're on the topic of quarterbacks when we're replacing them, I do think the GOAT debate has to be put to the side until further notice. Because Tom Brady, he never allowed this to happen.
Yep.
You look at that Atlanta game, that was probably the one time that he was really getting blown out. And what happened? He came back and he figured out a way to win. Patrick Mahomes never figured out a way to get it done. He only crossed midfield, 3 times? And 2 were because he threw 60-yard bombs to Worthy.
Mm-hmm. My thing is, I know people are going to put so much shit on Mahomes for this. Did he play well? No, he didn't. He had a bad game. He did have a bad game. But, my God, that defensive line put the O-line in a fucking loophole. Like the casuals are gonna be like, this is all Mahomes. Yeah. Dude, you watch that game. The D-line, I think he had 20 hurries. They sacked him more than 5 times. Bro, they didn't blitz.
Seven. They were one away from the record.
The Eagles did not blitz. They just ran a 4-man fucking rush, and they could not stop them. The O-line could not stop them. Joe Tooney was getting destroyed in the trenches. Destroyed.
So I thought about this, actually, as I was going to bed that night, and I didn't text you because I wanted to bring it up on the show. I didn't want you to know about it. I'm thinking about the game, and I'm like, oh, my God, that O-line just got absolutely
murdered.
Like, Jalen Carter was running through. He actually he slapped the shit out of Mahomes at one point.
Long overdue.
But at what point do you look at that O-line, and you're like, dude, these guys are getting blown up by these big boys on the other side of the ball? At what point do you just say, hey, Chris, go get in there. D-line, go get in there. And you just line up. You keep the center in, and you just like, fuck it, we're going to go D-line versus D-line.
Oh, they need a left tackle. Then they definitely need a left tackle.
Chris Jones should be playing both sides like he's Travis Hunter.
Man, he was on one. You could just see the passion that he had, but it was when the cameras were on him, just cringe. It's like when Pete Alonso was deadlifting the home run derby type shit. You're like, stop. I get it. Like, you're down by like 30 points, bro.
Honestly, you could argue that he might have been the only one that played really good.
I thought Karlaftis had a good game. I thought Bolton had a good game too.
All right, so you could say 3 guys on the Chiefs had a standout, like you could see them having a good game. The rest of the team, it was like
Chris Paul hit
they were
3
stunned
to cut the lead down to 42.
Yeah, it just seemed like they were. Yeah, they were stunned, dude. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do.
I think their game plan I think Philly just outmuscled them in every aspect of the game. Running, passing, defensive run, defensive pass, everything. Special teams even.
Yeah.
It did not work. Once you saw, when we were here watching, 5 pass attempts to 0 rushes. They didn't run the ball, dude. And listen, you might not be able to run the ball on that team, but Andy Reid finds ways to run the ball, and he gets the run game going.
Kareem Hunt barely touched the ball.
That was their biggest problem, is because when you're passing so much, it doesn't give the O-line an opportunity to, play that smash mouth football. Yeah. They didn't get that because they were immediately in pass pro every single time. And it was just not working. Mahomes was trying. He was scrambling. He didn't have a lot of time in the pocket. The pick that he threw to Zach Bond, he got fucking leveled pretty much. It's like, I know we had a bad game. And I know the GOAT debate, it's a stupid debate now. It could hold off. But I'm not writing this dude off. They're going to come back with a vengeance. Like, if you don't think the Chiefs are going to make some type of comeback next year and be a lot more angrier, you're out of your mind, dude.
No, absolutely. But we have to look at this now. And before we let's pump the brakes.
I love
here.
this.
Let's pump the brakes here. We'll get into the Chiefs next year in a minute.
That's fine.
We got to place Jalen Hurts here.
Yeah.
Where are we putting him? All right, so because we got Patrick Mahomes at the top. We got Patrick Mahomes up top.
Second tier.
All right. Second tier.
Tier.
We're going to go Patrick Mahomes at the top by himself. We got Jalen Hurts second tier. By himself?
No. I think it'd be like Josh Allen, Hurts,
but that's where I disagree.
Really?
That's where I disagree, only because Jalen Hurts has gotten over the hump of beating Patrick Mahomes, whereas these other guys, you might beat them in the regular season, but when it really matters, you haven't been able to outdo Patrick Mahomes, whereas Jalen Hurts, like I said, he's done it twice statistically, once with a trophy. Mm-hmm. And I think we really got to start respecting that a little more. I think we're very much a statistics-oriented environment when it comes to, like, you look at the guys on ESPN and first you look at the guys at Fox, and Patrick Mahomes, yes, he's out of this picture. He's proven that he's the best in the league. He's proven that he can win. He's run the AFC outside of one season where Joe Burrow figured it out, which is, I think that next tier you could put the Joe Burrows, the Lamar Jacksons, the Josh Allens. I think that's where you place them. I think those might be the only 3 that you put in there. And then there's a whole slew of people below that. But I think you got to respect what Jalen Hurts did this year. Am I saying that he's a better football player than Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow? I'm not saying that. Okay. But I'm saying that he is equal to them, but he's won.
In the big moments, yeah.
So I think you have to put him in the second tier, then the third tier is those guys. I think that's what you have to do now.
This is why I hate when we, after the Super Bowl, when we talk about how quarterbacks, compare to everyone and where they are.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, he had a very good game. I'm not saying he had a bad game. we got to remember, if we're talking about the greatness of quarterbacks and everything, it's a team game at the end of the day.
Yes.
It's not like Brady was out there doing it all by himself. It's a team game at the end of the day. Whatever, they clearly had the better roster. All right, they clearly had the better roster. And again, Jalen Hurts did what he had to do, and that's fine. And that's why he's so hard to rank, because that Super Bowl game we didn't see all throughout the playoffs. We saw him do what he had to do, but to actually, now you got to throw. Now you got to make the moves. Now you got to run. We didn't see that at all.
But that's why I respect it so much more, because
100%.
he's had that in him the whole season. We saw it at Bama. We saw it at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We saw it in his first season when he took over. He was able to throw the ball, run, use his legs. And last night was really, I think that was the first time maybe all season that he was he was forced to do it.
Yes.
And when he was forced to do it, he was very successful.
He was accurate. He looked really good.
Yeah.
He looked really good. And again, we've had this conversation, what Jalen Hurts are we going to get today?
Yep.
And that is my thing, is because I feel like he's still going to be inconsistent. That's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hate, but listen, you put any quarterback on that team, are they winning the Super Bowl? If Joe Burrow's on that team, is he winning the Super Bowl? If Josh Allen's on that team, is he winning the Super Bowl? I don't know where I'm going with this, but
so
for the people who are putting him at like number 2, number 3, like a top 3 quarterback, all right, like I'm going to respectfully disagree. Like, I will give him a top 5 quarterback if you're talking about the player himself. But when you're on that type of team and you have that good of a roster and you do what you have to do, you're a top 5 quarterback. To me, that's fair. But who cares if you're winning at the end of the day?
So here's something that it's kind of funny you brought that up, because it goes along with my next question.
Go ahead.
If Jalen Hurts had lost this Super Bowl, what tier is he in?
I put him in the third. I put him in the third tier.
Yeah, and those other 3 would move up to the second one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And when I look at this team, if they had a Joe Burrow, a Josh Allen, or a Lamar Jackson, I think Lamar's a little closer to Jalen Hurts. So I think the season would have been similar.
But
fair. If you had put a Josh Allen or a Joe Burrow in this team,
domination again.
I think this Super Bowl could have been way worse than it was. And think about how good Jalen Hurts played.
Yes.
And that's not a knock on Jalen Hurts,
Not
because
at all.
we just said how good he played and how great he's been all year. But those two, if Joe Burrow had won that Super Bowl against the Rams, I genuinely think we'd be looking at it would be him or Mahomes at the top, and it would be every year, which one's better? No one would know. I really do believe that. Whereas Josh Allen, he's a little bit crazy, so everyone's kind of like, all right, he's our crazy, fun, loving uncle that we love to cheer for. But these two are the better ones. But it's like,
That's a good one.
Like I don't know. I think Jalen, but we can't say that. We can't.
But
he won.
All right,
he won.
No, this is my thing. It's when you look at these teams that
I
were
hate this conversation, because
I know
they're going to hate me regardless.
Well, because it's obviously they're riding the high right now.
No,
they're
I
going to
know.
think he's the second best quarterback or the best quarterback in the league, which is clearly not true.
I think between the two of us, I think I've been more on his side this show, but they're all going to come at me and not
Bro,
you. It's
I know.
crazy.
But
it's crazy.
Again, like it's.
I even put their helmet up here.
I know. The teams, all right, they are all trending towards being a dynasty. Like, let's be real. They are trending.
They won one.
They won, but look at the team. Look at the organization. Everything is good. The Chiefs is the same thing. Their players might not be as good, but their organization is getting them there. Their coach is getting them there. Like, Joe Burrow, his defense ain't getting him there. Yeah. Josh Allen, he's limited by okay, I'll stop by him. The coaching staff, I think the coaching staff has to be getting him there. Lamar Jackson, I think
Lamar has no excuse.
He has no excuse now.
He had the same setup. He had the same setup this year as the Eagles did. He had the same setup. And the only thing he was missing was maybe one wide receiver. He could have used one more elite wide receiver.
And a catching tight end, maybe. That could catch balls.
Yeah, that's brutal. But I think Isaiah likely did well.
Oh, dude, he's the future of that team.
So I have a tough time saying like there's a difference between Goddard and those guys, because Jalen Hurts puts it in Goddard's chest every time, whereas Lamar's like throwing and they got one hand in. So that's one difference.
But he wins.
Lamar had every chance to be the same thing as Jalen Hurts this year.
A little more scrutiny on him now.
He messed up in many games. He couldn't get it done in many games, whereas Jalen Hurts, he audibled to runs. But was that what was needed? Absolutely. You know what it led to? A Saquon Barkley highlight tape going 80 yards for a touchdown.
You know what's funny, though?
So that's where I stand. Jalen Hurts,
he is
second
the
tier.
only NFC quarterback that in that conversation. Just think about that.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to deal with the AFC.
Well,
imagine that. Imagine the Eagles were in the AFC.
Yeah.
How different would this conversation be?
Yeah, it'd be
That'd
tough.
be fun. They got to move them over because that's time.
Is it
Put the Jets
crazy?
in the NFC East. God damn it.
Is it crazy for me to say that Jalen Hurts' only competition in the NFC was Dak Prescott?
Yeah. NFC East?
No, I'm saying NFC. When you talk about Jalen Hurts before this Super Bowl, who were you comparing him to? Because you couldn't. Dak and Jalen Hurts are 1-1 together because they're on the Eagles and the Cowboys. It didn't matter who else was in the NFC. It really didn't. You could say Matt Stafford. You could say Jared Goff. But
like
at the end of the
comparing
day,
him to another
when you
quarterback?
compare him to other quarterbacks, where you got Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, the AFC. Those four are the guys that get compared. When you talk about Jalen Hurts, are you really going to compare him to Jared Goff? No, you're not. Are you really going to compare him to old man Matt Stafford? No. You compare Matt Stafford to the guys he played with. Not now.
Their role? Or are you talking about their physical asset or their role?
I'm talking about being a quarterback. I don't think you compare him. Are you going to compare Jalen Hurts to Baker Mayfield?
No.
No. Are you going to compare Jalen Hurts
Way different.
to Derek Carr?
No.
No. There's.
I don't think it's Dak though. I don't think it's Dak.
I think after last night, it's no longer Dak.
No.
I think coming into this, all you saw on Twitter, all you saw on fan bases when you talk to people is Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott.
Well, it's just a rivalry. Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with the offense itself.
This win changed how you think about Jalen Hurts tenfold because now you compare him to every quarterback in the NFL. It's no longer just one or two guys. It's no longer him versus Jaden Daniels. It's no longer him versus Dak. He's above those guys far and beyond. It's now him versus the AFC.
He's now in that disagree, bro. I actually disagree in a way.
Dude, Super Bowl winner. It changes things.
Super Bowl winner, but again, team game, bro. And the thing is,
team game. But
what you know what got them there? Their run game and their defense. And yes, Jalen made them some plays, but you talk about the other guys. What got them to where they were? It was their quarterback play. Josh Allen was his quarterback play. Yeah. Lamar was his quarterback play, plus Derrick Henry. Mahomes, his quarterback play. Like, I feel like and again, it's not a knock on Jalen Hurts because he doesn't have to do this. And people are going to lose their minds because, Jalen did this, Jalen did this. Great. Guess what? He doesn't have to because you have a great O-line, you have Saquon Barkley, and you have a great fucking receiver set, and you have a great defense. He doesn't have to play hero ball. This is what I've been saying all postseason. He doesn't have to, but he did it when it matters.
I have a question. All right, we're just going to run through stuff. Give me a yes or no. Did Josh Allen's quarterback play win them the Super Bowl?
No, but it got him far.
Did Lamar Jackson's quarterback play win them a Super Bowl?
No, but it got him far.
Did Joe Burrow's quarterback play win them a Super Bowl?
Nope.
Did Patrick Mahomes' defense play really well in the first Super Bowl?
Against who?
The Eagles?
No.
Are you sure?
I mean,
go back and watch that
it was a high-scoring game.
Because Jalen Hurts played better than Patrick Mahomes that game.
It was a high-scoring
game.
And
now we're going to look at this game. And what are the Eagles built on? The run game.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot hold this against Jalen Hurts for them being a running team. Saquon Barkley ran for 57 yards. I think that is the lowest of his season when he played a full game. When it mattered, Jalen Hurts went out there and had a cute dude.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Of course, phenomenal. I agree. But he could have done this all year. He could have done this all year. Now that's
absolutely.
A stretch. That's
he could have done it all year, but teams don't want to stop the run. You're going to let Saquon Barkley run for 200 yards.
And they played. And what was the recipe?
Game.
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah, and it hurt.
But Jalen stepped up when it mattered. We didn't see him take over. When's the last time you saw him take over a game besides the Super Bowl in the regular season or the postseason? Did he take over any game?
I mean, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm going to say no.
No, he didn't. And listen, again, it's not. I don't want to be.
I'm trying here, Eagles fans.
I don't want to be hating, but it doesn't really matter where he is. Like he shouldn't be compared because I think you understand it. It's so much more than him, and that's where I'm getting to. He's a very, very good quarterback. I know that he came up when it mattered, big moments. Has he done it every game in year out? No, he hasn't. And that's why what Jalen Hurts are we going to get today? Even the Eagles fans knew this, but they got the damn good Jalen Hurts. They got the winner Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl, and that's good for them. Am I going to put him at the second best quarterback in the league? No, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. But is he a top? This conversation is so dumb. Is he a top 5 quarterback? Sure, let's put him in the top 5. But when you got a guy who just almost broke Eric Dickerson's record and a fucking amazing O-line. And that defense, who is pretty much the whole defense, should have been the MVPs of the game.
All right.
Jalen Hurts did what he had to do. That's what I'm saying. I'm not always
Called
better
out.
than Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the league.
No one
He's
said that.
clearly not.
No one said that.
But Eagles
we
fans
just
will.
said that.
Eagles fans will. You know this.
Oh, my goodness. All right, well, let's move on. 4 Wellness is our wellness and coffee supplier of the golf season in 2025. 4 Wellness, co-founded by Phil Mickelson. Their products are driven by science and proven by athletes at the highest level to help us normal people perform at our peak. Mike, better health is made easy with 4 Wellness. I'm actually drinking 4 Wellness right now. Go get their coffee pods. They're great. They're great. Phil Mickelson lives by them. If you want their gummies, just know they're going to be gone within 24 hours. They're fantastic. They're fantastic. You're only told to eat 2. You will have all 48.
Did you get them?
I did get them. They lasted me literally 1 day.
Nice.
Yeah. Really hydrated. Really hydrated. This stuff is fantastic, though, guys. Fantastic.
Dude, I was snapping on the simulator the other day.
Jeez.
Dude, bro.
You should have had 4 Wellness. You would have shot. You would have shot an
I
18.
should have put some 4 Wellness in
You
my
would've shot an
shoes
18.
and hope for the best, bro. Literally, I was 4 over on the back 9 on the 1 hole. 4 over. I was on one.
Simulator golf will do that.
Simulator golf will do that to me.
Let's see it outside. Let's see it outside.
Yes. First 18, I shot a 92, and then the back 9 was 4 over. So,
All right.
getting
Hey,
there.
4 Wellness. We got the code right
Use
here.
the code.
Code is right here. Go get you some 4 Wellness. Get your coffee. Get your products. Be great this year. Let's shoot it low.
Get ready.
All right.
Get ready. We got a long season of golf ahead of us, and you got to take advantage, every one of you. I know we're getting to that age now where you really all you have is golf. Let's get better this year. Let's not just go and have some beers and hang out. Let's be competitive. Where's the competitive edge? You still need that at this age of 26 and 27. You're not out there playing football. You're not out there playing baseball. You might be playing basketball in LA Fitness, but let's go golf and let's get competitive and let's get better every year. For Wellness, code, bam, right down there.
Big news for you. Big news for you. Aaron Rodgers is gone. The bad man's gone, Mike. Floor is yours.
This was 100% the correct move. 100. He flew out from Cali to Jersey to just hear that they were not continuing with him. How?
That's crazy that they did that.
That was
That's
a little
crazy.
The shout out to Aaron Glenn. He ain't taking no shit. I love it because I just don't see the reason to keep him anymore. You don't want listen. Aaron Glenn doesn't want to be, and Darren Mogi don't want to be walking on eggshells in their first year as a first-year head coach and a GM for the Jets. You don't want that. Just cut the cord. Everyone's like, oh, you bring Rodgers back, you do this. Dude, listen, stop with this fucking late season momentum bullshit. It's ridiculous, okay? It's enough. They called Adam Gase and Sam Darnold, well, 3 wins in the end of the season momentum. That's all you need to know. Aaron Rodgers had to go. Dude, you would have had to pay him a lot. You would have had to pay Devontae a lot. He's going to be gone too. So he's owed at least 30-something million for 1 year. He's gone. You cut the core of Rodgers. I think you hit your cap's about a $45 million hit in dead money. So that's fine. It is the right move because Aaron Glenn, you want to build a culture. And Aaron, we don't know if he's bought in or not. My guess is he's not bought in. His highest odds for playing are his retirement. Not a team, it's to retire. You get rid of him, good move. You have to focus on what's inside. And we don't even know if he's bought in. He was going to Egypt last year. He wasn't showing up for training camp. We're tired of that. We're tired of that. We want some fucking hard ass who's going to come in there and establish the locker room. We don't have that. We didn't have that with Salah. We didn't have that with Douglas, who I think they should have kept. But Aaron Glenn it's a new era for the Jets right now. It might be the same old shit, but it's a new era going forward. Aaron Glenn has come from winning culture. He was a Jets fan. It just needed to happen. If you brought him back, I would have been very uneasy with that. Because is he bought in or not? Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? Is he going to go in the dark room? Is he going to go to Costa Rica? What is he going to do? So you get rid of him, you start fresh. That offensive coaching staff that we had last year, get them all at the door. They brought in all their guys from Detroit. I love it. I love it. Now, where do they go from here is the question. There are a lot of options because now there's some steam picking up. They might make some moves in the draft. Jackson Dart might be creeping up. Shador Sanders, they might go trade up for him. Who knows? There are a lot of free agency guys out there. I think guys like Jameis Winston. Dude, honestly, I would take it. Because let's be real. This year's, we're not winning anything. We know this. But it's a bridge to build something for the future. So
I don't think that's the right idea here, Mike. I think you guys are in a position where given the right situation at quarterback, And it doesn't have to be Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts like we were just talking about. It doesn't have to be a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson like we were just talking about.
Go ahead, finish up.
If you have someone that's capable of just getting your playmakers the ball, handing it off to Breece Hall, getting the ball to Garrett Wilson, right? I think you guys are in a position where you could make a little noise and make. I'm not saying you're going to win. You're not going to win a Super Bowl.
No, of course
there's
not.
no shot.
But could we make some noise?
We
could.
You can make the playoffs and make a little Commanders run. I think it's possible. You never know what these rookie quarterbacks could pull off. There's no tape on them, like
Never
we
have
were
hope.
saying.
Never have hope with the Jets. Just watch and enjoy it. That's all it's come to. Because once I had hope when I didn't have hope for the Jets and they went, I don't know, they won like 8 games with Breece and Sauce in their first year. I'm like, all right, I like what I saw. I'm going to take the over on their wins. Bam, 4 wins. Oh, Rodgers, oh my God, dude. Once he's back from his Achilles injury, Super Bowl. Everyone's calling Super Bowl. I'm like, this is a disaster.
Yeah.
I said, why wouldn't we make the playoffs first? Bam, 5-12. Yeah. So there was no expectation. But
I like where Aaron Glenn part coming in and setting the standard.
Right off the bat.
Salah was put a little bit behind the 8 ball because his quarterback was Zach Wilson. He had to come in and kind of be like a father figure to the kid. It wasn't a come in, this is what we're doing, we're setting the standard now. The team wasn't in that position.
He had no balls,
so then
bro.
Once it was in that position, it was too far gone.
He had no balls.
He was always going to be like a bridge coach to whoever it was. He just had to make sure that team was set up for success. And I think that Aaron Rodgers' injury curved what was going to happen because I think Salah was always going to get fired after year 1 of Rodgers.
For sure.
And that injury just prolonged the inevitable, and now it was too far gone. Rodgers was too beat up, couldn't get it done, and now we're here. It's almost like a full-on restart.
Nobody was locked in, and that was my thing. Woody had a say in everything, which is a red flag number 1 right off the bat. Once he starts pulling the strings and he starts hiring these guys, once they hired Hackett and Aaron Rodgers, it was done. It was a shit show. It was a fucking shit show. But now you cut the cord. So all that shit's down in the past. He's going to fulfill the prophecy with Minnesota Vikings, and we're going to live happily ever after. Amen. But now, here we are. Where do we go from here? I think where the route that they take, if we were talking about the draft here, you go BPA right off the bat, whether it be Tech McMillan. I think Tech McMillan could be a great piece for Garrett Wilson to help him out there. Any Mason Graham, whatever. I think in the 2nd or 3rd round, when there's a quarterback sitting like Kyle McCord or a Jalen Milroe or Dylan Gabriel, I think you got to put Jackson Dart. If any of those guys are there, take them for the future. Take them because they have the talent to potentially win in this league. And obviously, you're not starting them right off the bat, but you take them, hold on to them. Next year, you see where we're at. But I think the route that they should go. Because, listen, Tyrod, we know what Tyrod is. He's got injury battles. He has a big injury history. That's fine. But you can go get a Jameis or a Justin Fields or a Kirk Cousins. There are guys out there that you can get. And is it sexy? No, it's not sexy. But can it help us move along the process and, get these guys wanting to play and stay, like Garrett Wilson and Sauce and Breece? The key thing is keeping the guys that are important to your team. Mm-hmm. And Sauce Gardner's important. Breece Hall is important. Garrett Wilson's important. Jermaine. It's the roster I don't think is bad. I think they are only getting better. We are very young. We're very young. Yeah. We just need the most important position in all football, which we haven't had since, 2016 Ryan Fitzpatrick, where we went 9-7. Maybe Mark Sanchez.
The fact that you have to say Ryan Fitzpatrick and Mark Sanchez as the last time you had a good quarterback there says a lot about this organization. No offense to those guys. They were great in those years. But when you look at a list of great quarterbacks, I don't think those guys might not even fall in the top 100.
Yeah.
They might not even fall in the top 200.
I'm telling you, man, my mindset is completely different than a lot of people, bro. We are very, very picky now. It's we will scrutinize. If we don't like what we see, you're going to fucking deal with repercussions. Yeah. Woody, I give Woody some credit because he said, I need to take a step back. I was doing a little too much. Let me take a step back and let me hand the baton over to Aaron Glenn and Darren Mogi. Mm-hmm. That's what he needed to do. So where do they go from here? I don't know. But back to Rodgers here real quick. It was the right move. because you're not all the baggage that came with him and Woody and Nathaniel Hackett is out the window. So good for them. It was the right move to do.
It's a new time, new age for the Cowboys and the Jets this year. We will be at that game.
We will.
We'll be at that game.
We will.
We're going to find a way. We'll get there. Hopefully it's more exciting
Don't even
than
ask
our
me to
last
put a
one.
bet down. Don't even ask me because we're not taking the Jets.
Taking the boys. Shoddy
We're
season.
taking the boys.
Shoddy
bro.
season.
Shoddy revenge
A little
story.
bit of breaking news. Eagles parade will be on Valentine's Day
There you go.
this Friday. So,
Super Bowl boomers on the way.
yep, here we go. Going to be a lot of Valentine's Day babies this year.
Yeah.
But, all right, that's the show. Mike, good stuff. Congrats to the Eagles fans again.
Real quick, another season down the drain. I just want to thank you for all that you do and the
you.
greatest
Thank
podcast
you.
in the Valley.
We are.
Another season down the drain. This is our third year down the drain now.
Yep. Yep.
Like talking sports.
Yep.
Very thankful for you. Very thankful for this. What we have. Can't believe it's over.
Big things on the way.
Big things on the way. Now we make the pivot. We
You-
got
you-
some things to talk
dude,
about.
Do you know what the best part about the season being over is for our teams?
The off season?
The off season.
It's the best.
It's the draft.
I know.
Here we
Th-
go.
this
Our
is
time
where-
is here.
Yeah, this is the best part for Jets fans. And then we got golf coming. It was a great year. A lot of fun things. My shitty fucking mortals, Muller's freaking Cowboy rants, the Jets rants. Everything about this season was awesome. I'm very thankful for this and what we have. So it was fun, man. It was fun. I can't believe it's over, dude. It's
Crazy.
wild.
Went
but
really fast.
we grinded. Every single week we came in here, we gave our takes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be weird not watching football now since it's over, but
XFL season.
XFL and golf is on the way. That's
Mm-hmm.
the biggest thing. Golf is on the way.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Good stuff, man.
Well, to another season.
To another season.
See you guys.
Bye.